foot. They'll tap it 4 times also. And from there, the elders had also were impressed with this young man. So they formed a grass dance society in his honor. And before encampments were set up, before them teepees were put up, the grass dancers, that grass dance society would come forward and they would dance and they'd flatten down that grass. It would help to take out all the little snakes, the little critters that could be there not making harm. The children, maybe scare away any enemies that were trying to sneak up and spy upon the camp. So they bestowed a great honor upon the grass dancers and that grass dance society. And today before powwows, a lot of times they still have the grass dancers come up and flatten down the grass and make it easier for the rest of the people to come and dance. So that we give you the Ben's grass. Give them a round of applause. That was the Ben's grass. Next up, we're going to be calling out a ladies fancy. Now this is a style that comes around from the 60s, the 1960s, the 50s era. As you'd seen our women's traditional, how they had danced around. At one point, they had started to kind of move a little bit more to the beat. And they started to bounce a little bit more. But they had their own category as the women's fancy, but it was kind of looked down upon at one point. There were times and stories of when there had been rocks thrown at them for dancing this way, for it wasn't considered traditional. So they had formed and gone off and danced, and they would dance such as like West's dress. They would put on 2 bustles and they would dance and compete against the men's fancy. There's a lady in this area, her name was Opal Skinador. She used to dance and she'd win, and she would beat the men. And then it came about in the early 70s that the women, they started to come back and put the shawls around their shoulders and they would dance the women's fancy. But their history comes with it as dancing with the women's traditional, but being fast and energetic like the men and dancing to the same type of songs. So it said that all the women fancy, they have to know all the men fancy dance songs, which can be a little trickier and faster. So they dance to all types of songs and speeds. Slow speeds represents that women's traditional, and fast from their time when they competed and danced with the men. So with that, we give you the women's fancy. Give her a round of applause. Next up will be the women's fancy. Coming out now, Wes Clearing, coming out fresh off and doing all his shows, performances off the Niagara Falls. This is a style that comes from the Wild West shows. When they take the Wild West shows off east. It wasn't what the public had thought it was, because the only thing that they'd done was read the dime store novels, and that Budline and such. So Wild Bill had gone to the natives that worked for him, in Ponca, Kiowa, and they'd asked them, is there something you can do? Is there a style of dance you can come up with, you can do to really energize the crowd? So they started singing songs. They noticed the way that the horses moved, the high leg kicks. And they came up with this style, which is now known as the men's fancy. You see that Angora that Wes has, it's on his leg. That represents that white tuft of hair over the horse's hoof. And then they brought these things back to the shows, and it's entered into the powwow. Down in Oklahoma, they have the Fence Dance Championship, which has gone on for 100 years at least now. So with that, we give you the men's fancy. How'd you guys like that one? All right, let me get you ready. We're gonna do another social. It's known as a intertribal, where we just come on out and dance. We ask anybody want to come on out, feel free. And as we dance, our Miss Land O'Lakes and our Miss Indian World, we'll go around with a blanket. If you like their dance, if you like their songs, feel free to throw a little something into the blanket. It helps us travel around. Our gas money to come on down here. We have people from Washington, Idaho, North Dakota, Michigan, Ontario, Virginia, North Carolina. So if you could, it would really help out. You have maybe a casino ticket you can cash in, worth about $200. Feel free to drop that in there. We won't be shy. So with that, this is just an intertribal. Just come on out, move your feet to the beat. Anyway, you feel like dancing, come on out. It's known as an intertribal internation. You can come on out and act like it's Halloween and be Indian for a day. So come on out, everybody, intertribal.
Gonna go, Isaiah?
Can't try to not make eye contact. I see you looking everywhere else. You're not gonna look. I'm not. Come on out, everybody. Bring your parents, dragging and kicking and screaming. room out here, folks. Come on up. And we have some world court. Good job. Moving their feet, feeling that beat. I want to thank everybody for coming on out. I hope everybody enjoyed our show. Mickey and Cheyenne are still out there with the blanket. Again, if you liked the show and you had a good time, feel free to drop some 20s and 100s. And again, we want to thank everybody for coming on out, especially all the royalty for coming on out and dancing with us. We take that as an honor. And we'll be up here available for pictures and